Hey guys, and today I'm going to show you how to change your exhaust on your Ford Fiesta MK6. I'm just editing the video, and this is a disclaimer. This is not a tutorial at all. Do not follow this step by step, because you'll be sorely disappointed. Instead, you can watch me go through my adventure on how I learnt that I'm never going to do an exhaust ever again. So we've got the parts from Eurocar Parts, and I'll show you what a blow-in exhaust would sound like. So I'll just put the camera here. So the main reason I'm changing this exhaust is you can see this massive hole here. That's popping and banging. That's popping and banging. Normally you want popping and banging on your car, but you do that through a tune usually, and not through just putting holes in your exhaust. So the whole back box needs to go. The flexi-pipe, so I'll go show you that in a second. And you may be wondering why I'm not just changing the back box, but you can see this flexi-pipe. It's no longer a flexi-pipe no more, really. So if you're actually doing this job, I feel sorry for you, first of all. And secondly, this is your catalytic converter. And then if you just look up here, this is where it will join your downpipe. So this is considered as the downpipe. They've got two bolts, one just there, and there's another just round the back. But yeah, the other one's just up like here, and the other one is there. These are studs that are welded into the actual flange, and then going on to the rest of the exhaust, it's got bolts on the other side. So the first thing you need to do is get these bolts undone. That leads to the rest of your exhaust that runs straight down there, all the way down to the back, to your back box, and then out. So after that first day, we couldn't get the bolt off, so we've decided to get lots more tools and to move on and try again. The weather's 1,000 times cooler, my hair's 50% shorter, and we're going again. I've got loads more tools this time, so we should be able to get the job done. The problem is those two studs, we couldn't cut through them very well, so we've gone back to the drawing board. We've got two more drills, we've got two batteries, we've got a battery charger. I've got a bunch of little tools, so I've got a little tiny little ratchet thing. I'd like to show you guys. What was it? My bag of tools. So I came with a flexible ratcheting spanner this time. If you look at that. We're hoping it's 15mm, because that's what I've bought. I have a few other tools, but apparently they're not in this bag. Not in there either. Bam. So I've got crow's feet as well. So you put these, say the 15mm one. So this one here, take that off. You'd put that on an extension bar on a ratchet, and you basically can reach all the way down into the engine and pop that off. Where's my tiny ratchet gone? What? My tiny ratchet. Look at this! Wow. So we've done a lot of drilling, we've done a lot of dremeling, and I thought it's about time that I show you how far we've got and what we've got done. You probably didn't hear me all that well just then actually, because my microphone is facing backwards, so sorry about that. But if you come under the car, if you look at all that on the floor, can you see how shiny all that is? Oh, lovely metal. And then come under here. Oh, watch your head. You see this hole? This is where we've been drilling, so we've been able to drill straight through. We're almost through to the nut on the other side. And this one, you can see the light through it. Obviously we haven't been able to go square on that one, but we've only gone through the flange on the back, which the rest of the flange on the back, so this top flange, that's the one that's connected to the exhaust we're replacing, so it wasn't too much of a bother. Being able to do this, we've thought, actually no, that's not the way we want to do it, so we're going to come in through the top with the Dremel and cut the nut, because I'm able to get my arm down through the top after I've moved this this silver pipe on the left, after I've moved that and taken off the brackets at the top, I'm able to get my arm in, and I'm able to Dremel just the top nut. I'll go show you that on the top side. This is the nut from the top side. If you look straight down there, see if I can get a focus on it. See, look, that nut just there. As you can see, that little bit of silver on the left hand side of it, that's where I've been dremeling, and I'm going to just try and go through the nut all the way that side, all the way from the other side if I can do, and then that should just fall out, because we just need to drill the other nut out and it should all just fall out. One disappointing thing though is that when I was climbing up here, so I had my knees, I had one like here, one about here, and I was like leant over, my forehead rested on there, and I was staring down there to do the bolt. While I was doing that, as I jumped down, I like grabbed here and knocked my hand straight across that as I was falling back, and I ended up breaking my intake tube. So this hasn't even been on for that long. So this one is a K&N intake pipe, like it's proper branded K&N, if you can see that. That's proper K&N upside down, but yeah. I don't know whether it's because of the cable ties that were on it or what, but it obviously made it weak. So we're gonna have to cut these cable ties, re-tape it, and make sure the metal is together again, and then re-cable tie it. So as you saw, we broke my last intake, so we moved on and put in a nice shiny new one. At the moment it's held in with cable ties, so we'll sort that out. But if you want a video on this or how to do these blue pipes, then just let me know. The only thing we need to change is the mounting system, because obviously it's with cable ties at the minute. We've got brackets that we're going to be putting in soon, so we tried putting one in and we've accidentally broke one of these little threads. If you look down here, this is one of the good ones, and then round here somewhere there's one, this one here. This one has actually fallen into the rocker cover. After that second unsuccessful day with my brother, I went to work on it on my own, and then my stepdad came out and he ended up helping to get one of the bolts off. We ended up using rounded bolt extractors, so we got down with a big 1/2 inch ratchet and was able to crack it off. The other one was one of Charlotte's neighbours. So we had 2 bolts, so my stepdad got one of them off, and then Ashley, one of my girlfriend's neighbours, he's a mechanic. He was able to get in there with a flexi head spanner and was able to just snap one of the bolts off. So one of the bolts was snapped and the other one was, we actually got that one off. So my stepdad helped me put some nuts and some washers on there. We copper greased them to make sure we were able to get them off next time. So I was able to run around in the car with one of the bolts still attached, just to get me to like where I wanted to actually do the changing of the exhaust. So Charlotte's granddad said I could use his carport because it was raining that day. So we went and took the car to the carport. We had it up on jacks and axle stands, and that's when we started actually doing the exhaust basically. Ow. I mean, the hangers are alright. They're just old. 2 out of 3. This is the last one, and then the exhaust should just fall out. Then do this. Oh, that's what I wanted to do in the first place.
Oh. Well, that's out.
So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this panel off because the exhaust is actually out. I can't wiggle it now because it's actually stuck over there. We tried taking it straight out of the back, but that wasn't working. So that's why this is coming out now. I've snapped one bolt up here. I don't know if you can see that up there, but while I'm down here, I'll have a chat with you guys. You guys may be thinking, oh Brett, why do you not post very much? And I'll tell you, I've been working on this exhaust for a month now. And you guys are like, why don't you post? Takes me a month to even do a job on the car. Then I've got to edit it. Oh, I just realised that's going to come down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And hit me in the head.
Oh, that's heavy.
I got it.
That
could have been very dangerous. This just fell out as we took that out. So there's a good comparison of what it's supposed to look like and what it actually looked like when we took it out. That's the flexi-pipe cover over there, just at the back. The rest of the pipes just around the corner being all grotty. So you see the new pipe as well there, just at the back. If we come around the corner, you'll see, like, look how rusty this is, and then this is the flexi pipe itself. Like, that could pass for an MOT and everything, but the actual like cover and stuff being frayed, they would probably mention that as an advisory at minimum. And it was just, if this was going, the actual back box was blowing, I think it's just time that the whole system got a renewal. You see on that gasket at the top how we've drilled through the side of it and accidentally put a hole for it. This one just needs drilling a bit more on the rest of the car. So we've had to do some drilling on that bottom bolt, like you saw me earlier on in the videos when I was drilling, when my brother was drilling from underneath. We had to drill it out some more so we could fit the bolts that I bought to go through there. Now we've got that off, we've got the old exhaust all out, and that's all fine. Now we're doing the assembly. We've got the exhaust in position where we kind of want it. Got to put on the gasket, put the bolts through. We've got one of the studs remains, one of the original studs, and then we've got the gasket. So we're going to go for, put the gasket on, line it up and try and get the bolts in. Do it roughly so you still have wiggle room round the back and to get it into the hangers and stuff. But this is just so we can get it kind of close. So we were able to get both the bolts off straight away, and we ended up using threaded bar to keep them on at the end. Come with me. So when we were fitting the exhaust, the thing that we needed to do, because it wasn't just a one-part system, so it wasn't just it wasn't just the whole catback, it wasn't just straight from the downpipe all the way, it was the centre pipe and then a back box, which you usually get if you're going to buy a kit separately. So the thing you need to do, you need to get exhaust paste, and I didn't film this bit of the exhaust pasting because Charlotte's dad and Charlotte's granddad and me and I was covered in all this paste. We were all covered in paste just doing this under there. It took us about like 20 minutes at most, so it wasn't a hard job. It was just fiddly and like trying to get it all into place and working in a little tight section. So if you just pass me the camera. So if you just look just there, just behind the back box, so this is the back box here. If you look just behind there, you'll see that clamp there, which actually looks like it's been blowing, but I don't think it is. That is held on with exhaust paste. So you exhaust paste inside and around the pipe, you push them together, and then you clamp the actual clamp down. But that black stuff there, that sooty stuff, that is actually probably showing me that it's blowing there. So I might have to do some more of that sometime soon. But this car passed its MOT with flying colours. The only thing that was wrong with it was the two front tyres were close to the legal limit, and this was like this through the exhaust. So I'm assuming it wasn't blowing for the MOT. Yeah, hopefully that isn't blowing and it's just where it's got hot and cooked it or whatever. But I'll have to check that. But it's been running perfectly other than this. So this is the first time I've seen this at all. So it's been about a month since we did this, and it's still running amazingly. The exhaust doesn't smell like petrol anymore, it doesn't pop, it doesn't bang, and I'll just show you the before and afters. So hopefully it sounds a lot quieter, but I'll find out in the before and afters like you guys will. When we got back in the car after we changed it, it sounded so much quieter. Like, it was unbelievably quiet compared to what we were used to. We were used to like shouting to each other in the car, and now we can like whisper to each other. It's mental. And the thing is, I never even realised that it was damaged or like anything was wrong, because obviously it was like that from when I got the car. So when we got it changed, it just felt like a dream. Like, it felt like the car was actually quieter and just nicer.